Welcome everybody to the October meeting of Florida Veterans for Common Sense, and I'll introduce our speaker. Our speaker tonight, we're fortunate to have Curtis Calabrese, and Curtis has a very interesting background as a veteran. I'm going to let him tell you about that. But he's running for county commission in Palm Beach County. So for those of you on Zoom that may be in that area, you want to make sure that you support Curtis, and I'm going to let Curtis tell us about himself and why he's a good candidate. And these days, it's so important that we have candidates that are going to stand up for democracy, because we're slip sliding in what I call an authoritarian regime. And if we all don't stand up together, in a year or so, we may lose our democracy. And Curtis is on the front lines, and we need to show him support. So Curtis, the floor is yours.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for inviting me. And really, thank you so much for the endorsement as well. You were one of my first endorsements, and being on the ground floor of my campaign means so much, and I'll be eternally grateful as I move on with my political career. And hopefully, as when I become a Palm Beach County Commissioner, I can advocate for our Florida veterans even better. I know that there's a lot of people that are scared to fly, and that's totally normal, especially when there's turbulence. I see it all the time when I'm in the back of an airplane. Some people close their eyes and some people grasp onto armrests. And I know some people might wonder if the person in the front of the airplane has any idea what they're doing. Well, as a United Airlines captain, I can say that we don't guess, we don't get scared, we lead. We trust our training, but more importantly, we rely on our experience to chart a path through the storm. My name's Curtis Calabrese, and I'm running for Palm Beach County Commissioner. I was born and raised in Palm Beach County in Boca Raton. I attended Verde Elementary and graduated from Boca High. And then I received an Academy nomination from Congressman Ron Klein. In 2012, I took an oath of office to serve my country when I graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy. As a Navy pilot, I flew combat missions over Africa. As a United Airlines captain, I've helped keep the public safe. And as a former Federal Aviation Administration safety inspector, I help shape the systems that protect our skies. So I've been in public service my entire life, protecting our country and our safety. And now I'm ready to serve you, my family and friends, right here in Florida. This campaign, it's about principle. It's about bringing leadership back to Florida and back to Palm Beach County. You know, leadership that's grounded in accountability and shaped by integrity. But I have to say something. You know, Republicans flipped this seat, and they did so because Democrats watered down their message. They got quiet and they stopped paying attention. And when we go quiet, the other side wins. So let me say this. I'm proud to be an American, and I'm proud to be a veteran, and I will never stop fighting for affordable housing, for equal opportunity, and for government that serves the people. Right now, Palm Beach County, Florida, and the United States are in turbulence, and the people deserve to know that there is a leader who is steady and experienced at the controls. Florida Veterans for Common Sense. It's really a great name. It's an apt name. And the name says it all. It's common sense anchored in service. And that's something we're missing in the United States and in Florida right now. Tonight, I want to talk to you about who I am, why I'm running for local office, what Florida veterans are up against right now, and how we can lead on energy, environmental stewardship, and coastal resilience. My aim is not to leave you with the slogans, but with a clear, credible plan and a call to action that you can act on tomorrow. I had 3 words on all my slides, and those are honor, integrity, and service. And they're not just ornaments. They're my standard. Honor is how we treat another person when no one's watching. Integrity is obviously telling the truth, even when it's inconvenient. And service is the duty to convert convictions into results and improve people's lives. If we do those 3 things well, Florida doesn't just get better for veterans, it gets better, period. That's the metric, and that's the mission. I'm Dr. Curtis Calabrese, and I've spent my entire life where safety, service, and leadership intersect. I'm a United Airlines captain and type rated on the 737 and the 777. I've served as a director of operations for a charter company down in South Florida, specifically in Boca Raton, and I've chaired safety programs at United Airlines and in various companies around the United States. Because I believe that safety is, quite frankly, the most respectful form of love we can offer our communities. In parallel, I'm a professor and a researcher in human factors and aviation safety. My work and my identity lives at the junction of evidence and accountability. I'm also a Floridian whose roots and career are valued and values are tied to this state and to the veteran community within it. I know the dignity of meaningful work and the weight of responsibility when people trust you with their lives, and the quiet pressure of wanting to leave a place better than when you found it. Many of you carry those experiences and that same resolve, and that's why you're here. My core values aren't theoretical. I'm motivated by the belief that systems fail or succeed at the human level. You repair the system by respecting people and designing for reality. That's what I've done in cockpits, in classrooms, and in operations. And that's what I intend to do in public service. I'm running because I owe Florida the same standard I demanded for myself in aviation. A culture that prevents harm, learns fast, and delivers consistent results. Our communities deserve leaders who are coachable by data and courageous with the truth. They deserve leaders who will show their work and take responsibility when a plan needs to change. My dedication to the community isn't just a campaign tagline, it's its operational backbone. It looks like transparent budgets that reflect priorities, not politics, public safety that's proactive, not performative, and infrastructure that is resilient, not just repaired after every storm. It looks like a county commission that treats taxpayers as investors because you are, and treats staff as teammates because they are. Strategically, I want to bring a safety systems mindset to local government, to de-risk the big rocks, water, energy, transportation, and housing by getting ahead of the curve. That means upstream investment to save downstream pain. It means metrics that are public, simple, and time-bound. It means advocacy for veterans navigating benefits, for working families priced out of housing, for small businesses squeezed by costs and red tape. When you elect a leader, you're not hiring a showrunner. You're hiring an executive for your community. If you believe, as I do, that integrity scales, then local office is exactly where you prove it. Because when you do small things right, people trust you with the big things. I'm running to rebuild that trust, one measurable result at a time. Veteran issues in Florida. Let's speak plainly about the challenges Florida veterans face. Because if we won't, then who will? First, healthcare and benefits access. Too many veterans experience a maze instead of a pathway. We need to integrate navigation, county-level coursework that moves in lockstep with the VA. We need local partners that collapse wait times. We need to help veterans get what they deserve. Next is affordable housing. Veterans on a fixed income cannot outbid speculative cash buyers. We must preserve and produce workforce units with veteran set-asides. I will champion fast-track permitting for veteran-focused projects and leverage public land for mixed-use developments that are not only quality, but also safe. Third is employment and education opportunities. Florida's economy needs skilled labor, tech talent, and leadership. Veterans bring all three. I'll push for county-funded SkillBridge style partnerships that translate your MOS into competencies with civilian credentials and contracts that award points for veteran hiring and apprenticeship pipelines. Education shouldn't mean debt. It should mean direction. And we need to work with our college and trade programs so veterans exit with credentials, not just transcripts. And fourth, and most importantly, is mental health. That stigma still kills. We need 24/7 lines staffed by our peers, berated funding to keep community providers solvent, and aggressive outreach that meets veterans where they are, at union halls, houses of worship, VFW posts, and online. Here's the principle. A promise is only as strong as its process. Florida can lead by measuring what matters and funding what works. We don't need to reinvent compassion, we need to operationalize it. Next, we're going to talk about the environment. If you fly over Florida at night, you see the story of energy. Dense ribbons of light along the coasts, expanding inland nodes, and a grid that must keep pace with growth and storms. We need reliable electricity, lower long-run costs, and cleaner air. Those goals are not in tension if we plan like engineers instead of ideologues. Our current energy landscape is transitioning. The question is whether we lead that transition or do we chase it? Solar is no longer a novelty, it's infrastructure. County government can do 3 practical things right now. Number 1, we can streamline rooftop and small scale solar permits to a 3 to 5 business day process using checklists. Number 2 is we can build county solar plus storage programs for critical facilities like shelters and water plants and traffic control, so we're not blind during outages. And number 3, we can pilot community solar subscriptions and prioritize veteran and low to moderate income households, shaving bills without the expense of home retrofits. Electric reliability matters to businesses deciding whether to invest here or to families deciding whether they want to stay. Diversifying supply, hardening distribution, and embracing solar where it's cost effective is not green theater, it's risk management. Talking about Florida's coastline. Florida's coastline is our identity, and it's our economic engine. It's also a front line. Water quality, beach erosion, saltwater intrusion, and stronger storms are not abstract trends. They're invoices arriving at our door. Every emergency appropriation we take after a storm is a tax on our failure to prepare before the storm. Environmental challenges here demand layered defenses, living shorelines where feasible, smarter zoning that stops putting critical assets in harm's way, and drainage systems sized for the rainfall we actually get, not the rainfall we got 2 decades ago. We need to treat water like the precious resource that it is, to protect aquifers, upgrade our wastewater, and police the pollutants that kill our fisheries and our tourism. Last is our call to action. Here's what I ask you tonight. 3 concrete actions. First is to support the campaign. Not because campaigns are glamorous, but because governing well starts with winning. If you share these priorities, veteran outcomes, energy reliability, and coastal resilience, then help me reach the voters who share them too. Knock a few doors, host a small group conversation, or introduce me to a neighbor. And of course, you can also donate. Local races are won by the trust on a human scale, talking neighbor to neighbor. Second, engage in veteran advocacy. Just pick one pillar: healthcare navigation, housing, employment, or mental health, and adopt it. If you have expertise, lend it. If you have lived experience, share it. And if you have time, please volunteer. Third is to vote and raise awareness. Elections are math, yes, but they are also morale. When veterans show up in force, measured, mission-driven, and united behind a practical goal, politicians take notice and recalibrate. Let's make it impossible to ignore the voice of Florida's veterans, not with outrage, but with outcomes. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your service, your dedication, and your time tonight. And I mean that sincerely. Every good thing I've done in my life began because someone gave me the gift of high standards and the grace to grow into them. That's how I plan to lead. High standards, honest metrics, and relentless follow through. If what I've laid out resonates with you, honor, integrity, service as daily principles, then I'm asking you to join me. Let's build a Florida that keeps its promises to veterans, protects its coastlines, and powers its future wisely. I'm ready, and with your help, we will deliver. Thank you. Now, any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
My question is, Curtis, why are you not running for the House of Representatives? Commission.
Well, local elections matter. And I think over the last 20 years, there's been a perception change across the United States. And that's because people used to watch their local news and cared about where they lived. And over the time, people started watching national news, CNN and Fox and MSNBC, and all they air are national politics. So our perception has changed. That's what we care about now, are those national issues. And we forget that what really matters is the road right outside, how your trash is getting picked up, or what building they're going to put over there. Your coastline and all the infrastructure, that's all your county and your city government. And there's just been a change. I don't know why we have forgotten about that. But as a result, we're seeing traffic increase and it steals hours from our lives. We've seen my friends and my family move out of the cities that they helped build. And now they're in different states. That's because we forgot what matters. And yeah, national politics does matter, but we need to start looking here locally and tackle some of these local issues as well if we care about where we live.
That's a great answer.
So, Curtis, one of the, I don't know if they can hear me on the Zoom, so you might have to repeat it. But one of the things that our group does, which you may be aware of, we try to plant microforests. And we've planted 8 or 9 in Manatee and Sarasota counties. Now we're moving into a process of looking into planting mangroves, because Sarasota Bay, 90% of it's hard. And mangroves are much better for the water quality. So do you have those same issues in Palm Beach?
We absolutely do. So our coastlines are eroding, and all we do is backfill with sand. Quite frankly, when you do that, it's actually worse for the environment, and you actually kill the coral by doing that, which is supposed to help. It's just what we've always done, so that's what we do, right? Is this not just the story of politics in the United States? We do something, so we just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and nothing ever changes. And that's because the people we have in charge don't care. They don't. They're there because they want a title or a position. They're there, and they've just been there forever. We need young people that are still excited, that have the energy, that have the motivation and the vision. So that's something that I'm going to bring to the Better Coast. No, it's great being over here. Sarasota is one of my favorite cities in Florida. So if I wasn't in Boca, I'd be over here. But Boca is pretty nice too. So if you're ever in the area, let me know.
Sarasota, we're known as being in the belly of the beast over here. So it's kind of a special place.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know that I'm in Palm Beach County, but Palm Beach County is so unique. The politics are intense, just like they are in Los Angeles or in New York. But it's also the crucible of Florida. What we do in Palm Beach County spreads to the rest of Florida. So I'm really honored to be even considered to be a county commissioner, to make the changes, because I know what I do will spread over here in the rest of the state. And I'm hoping what we do in Florida is tested, and it's what we can do nationally. So we're the tip of the spear.
One question looking forward, and it may be something that's premature, but our group has supported the Clean Water Amendment, which we tried to get through in Florida. And right now it seems to be dead. Do you have any advice on how we could move that forward?
With so many things in politics, sometimes just calling people isn't enough. You need the support of insiders that know the system. And unfortunately, that does cost a lot of money. So that's a big project, and you need big support behind you. to make that happen, to convince the lawmakers that it should be a priority. I know individuals that can do that, and that's going to be one of my projects. And I'm really excited to have people on my team that actually care about the environment, that care about wildlife, and that care about safety. My team isn't developers, you know, that all they want to do is pave over every inch of Florida. The team that's behind me, they're some of the most caring, compassionate individuals that I've ever met in my life. And they're also very well respected in the community and have assets to tackle projects like that. So I think we have the resources, and that's something that we can do. She was just saying that it is true that all politics are local. I think people forgot that over the last 20 years. So, you know, the more I talk to people, the more I realize that there is a mindset shifting back. And it's when you are in your home for a long time and you get that bug like you need to leave, you shouldn't feel that way. And you feel that way because of your local politicians, because of the decisions that they made.
From Cody this is from one of your Navy vet buddies, Cody Keller. He's
Okay.
a submariner. He says, first, thanks for your service in running for office. And he's one of our thought leaders on climate change. And his question is, what can county government do to fight climate change?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, being a sub officer or a submariner, that's always fun, being a P3 pilot chasing you guys. So we always won. What can county government do to fight climate change? Like we said, you know, all politics is local and all change starts small. So Palm Beach County is quite a large area, and we can do quite a bit in Palm Beach County in terms of land use, zoning, how we burn our waste, and protecting the coastlines. There's also like I said, with land use and zoning, how we're able to use our land more effectively. If we're having raw land, how we can use that for microforests, how we can plant mangroves. There's just things that we can do, quite frankly, all over the county to prevent or to mitigate the threat of climate change. I would say that's where we should be focusing, is on the county level and the local level. You know, nationally, they can just pass more laws, but they're not really effective. The change comes on what we do every day locally.
Curtis Calabrese, you know, you've got this great message, and as somebody who's run for office in a big county, do a mailer, Curtis Calabrese, you know, county commissioner, CC. I want to share this with you. Hmm. That's what CC means. I want to share this with you. I want to share my message of being a veteran. I want to share my message of a future for Palm Beach County that we can realize, you know, if I have your support.
Of course.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is something that I've talked about with this group before. Being a veteran means a lot, right? It's not just a resume bullet, right? Being a veteran means honor, courage, commitment, service, sacrifice. These people are all over Florida. They served. They're motivated. They want to keep serving, but they don't know where to get plugged in. We need to do our job and reach out to them. We need to find the bases where people are being discharged and they don't have a community anymore. We should be there for them. And when we're there for them, they now have another mission in life, right? Your service just doesn't end when you leave the military. It can keep going, and you can always keep fighting for the United States. While not in combat, there's so many other roles. So that's something that I wish we could do as a group and as a collective of veterans in Florida. The question was about why we're not using more solar in Florida, because we are the sunshine state. Well, it is a fact that Floridians pay more per month in electric than any other state. We have a slightly lower use per kilowatt hour, but our use is significantly more because it's hot here. So our monthly bills are insane. So you add that with combine that with taxes and increasing insurance, it makes affording a home here extremely difficult now. So why aren't we tackling that? It seems like low-hanging fruit, in my opinion. We have the resources, and like I said, solar isn't novelty anymore. It's proven science, and it's very easily installed. there should be a push to get this done. And that is something that we can do at a county level, is have programs and encourage people to install solar. Oh, of course, wind. You know, this was taboo, and this happened during the Carter administration, was nuclear. It's not technically renewable, but it's extremely safe. And we have nuclear submarines all over the world that are down super deep, that go really fast and do pretty amazing things, and they're safe. Nuclear energy is safe. And I think there was just a fear a long time ago that was perpetuated, and it was not just. It was not just fear. And as a result of that, we have produced energy that is not clean and does significantly more harm and is more dangerous than nuclear energy. So that's something that I would love to bring back. Now, that's a national thing. And there's a lot of regulation that went into place, and we've just made it so cost prohibitive to build a nuclear power plant. But other countries are doing it. I believe France is 75% powered by nuclear energy. We're powered by coal. So I have a Tesla, and I call it my coal-powered car, because it is. It's not a clean car. So until we modernize our infrastructure and have renewable resources powering our grid, you can buy an electric car, but it doesn't mean it's actually saving the planet.
With that, thank you very much for your attention. And my request is for all of our members and supporters, please consider sending a donation to Curtis. We need more men and veterans like Curtis in office. With no further ado, meeting adjourned.